Hey, welcome, guys. The sun and the rain is one and the same. The sun and the rain is one and the same. The rain and the sun can bring so much pain. But it's all the same. One and the same. One and the same. The light and the dark and the light, the sun and the moon, we keeping it tight. Tonight, no separation. Today, all the things that we say, gonna bring on this beautiful day. Anything that you wish to say, make anything that you think, make sure it brings on a beautiful day. And when you are car, make sure it brings on a beautiful day. And when you are smoking, make sure it brings on a beautiful day. Boom, boom. The day is up to me. The day is up to me. The day is... Just a headband? Oh, no. Get it. Oh, I ain't... I gotta click live on it. Come this way. Come this way. Beautiful. Beautiful. So beautiful. Hey, and that one is that. Sheesh, that's off my album In the Dark. In the dark. Titled Come This Way. Come this way. I love that song. It got me through so many mixing turmoils and whatchamacallits that I'm here to be able to have some fun regardless of what the fuck is going on in the world today. So thank y'all for joining the podcast. Hopefully y'all having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time this is coming at y'all. Enjoy this energy, take part in this energy, and we can start the Thai-versation. Not just the conversation, but a Thai-versation. Place where we combine our mind with our heart. Let all of that stuff come out. And we just do what we gotta do. Do what we gotta do, because that's what's been coming to me. Dude, thinking is pretty cool. Thinking is genius. Thinking involves so many different things that a homeless person is a genius. My grandma always used to tell me, it's a lot of genius people on the corner. It's a lot of people that have a lot of smarts, a lot of intelligence to them, or a lot of imagination, and they're out there on the corner. On the corner. And as I got older, I started witnessing and realizing what she meant. And it's entitles that we have so many thoughts, but what do you do with those thoughts? What is an imagination? What is a fantasy? A lot of people say, oh, I'm living in the fantasy, or I got imaginary friends, so I gotta be home, so I can't relate. Other people like, oh, I got imaginary friend, I got these thoughts and feelings, and I gotta make a business out of it, or I gotta write a book, put some art into it. It's all about the correlation of you. How are you correlating all of this shit put together? All of this shit, because it's a whole bunch of shit. It's a whole bunch of shit, but it's some good shit in there. Some good shit in there. Redefining words and character choices is the ultimate power that we have with free speech. And that's how we took it when we were hearing it. How those words affected our lifestyle, our experiences. When talking, what does it mean? What does it mean for you to say what you really mean? What does it mean for you to say what your experiences totally entail in the moment that you wish to gasp? I mean, say some air out of your lips. I'll say gasp for air, but you ain't really talking. But you gasp, and then you talk. talk with breath. Talk with breath. A lot of times we talk to escape breath. But part of getting the free speech and seeing what you really mean for yourself when you're talking, for me, it's catching up with breath. It's catching up with breath. Now that's enough of me riffing. I want to jump into the show. I got some Thai topics that's here today. And here goes some announcement. This shirt will be available on justthaiNow.com. That is dropping soon. The whole Just Thai Now website is coming at you soon. Whole Just Thai Now website. I'm going to have some cool shirts and articles. And I'm going to have some articles and some other things on there. Hey, what's going on, Scoot? Welcome to the show. You got a channel. You said, do you think the moon is real? It means, how do you define real? How do you define real? Like, what do you think the moon is supposed to do? In your opinion, Scoot, what do you think the moon is supposed to do? Because I've heard everything under the sun. I'm still with the moon being a man. You ever see a face up there? I seen a face on the moon. The other day, the moon is a face looking down on us. If you ask me, if you ask old Ty over here. Hey, you sound like my boy Cryo. I have no secrets. All secrets are out in the plain and open. And that's what I'm talking about, the energy. The energy and free speech and talking about doing what you want to do with your life. Hey, Yosef. Salute, Yosef. Welcome. When you're doing what you want to do with your life, that is the secret. A lot of people looking for secrets, but the secret is right there. School asked me, said, tell me your secrets. Man, the secret is you. I got no bigger secret to tell. The secret is something as old as time. It's when somebody goes out there and discovers something about themselves. And then when they see that other people ain't discovered that, they say, hey, I got something that you gotta follow. I got something for you to do. But really it's not a big secret. It's just a choice. It's just a choice in the matter of how you operate your life throughout the day. How you notice your thoughts. What do you give it away? What do you give your thoughts away to? Not even just your body or your words or your actions. It starts with your thoughts. How are you thinking about your day? Is your thoughts coming? Are you only happy by saying how other people view happiness of the day? What if those people are not living the same kind of life you live? What if and then at some point they do something a little different, or you can't do that thing that they was doing that made them happy? Does that now mean that your life is not happy? A lot of times people will say, yes, what do you mean? Self-awareness factor. And that's where the psychedelics really kicked in a lot of gear, I think, for the world. To the point where you don't really hear a lot of people talk about psychedelics. Because they're busy handling their happiness. They're dealing with life at a level where they see the words that are conjugated will just come back to entrap themselves. But, hey, I've been talking forever. I don't see myself entrapped in nothing. I see myself in being able to debate, conjugate, communicate, extrapolate, anything when anybody come to me, and be able to stand 10, 11, 12 toes down on whatever I said before, but be willing to turn to the 13th if I see that it's hurting somebody, or I see that it hurt me in a way that I didn't realize that I was hurting myself in the moment that I was going forth with it. And that's how powerful the mind is. That's how powerful the mind is. And being out here in California, like I haven't seen my family in years, like blood kin family in years, like 3,500 miles away. I talked to them on FaceTime. Technology's been a grand, but when I have stuff that I have to think about, how would I handle this situation? It's been off of my mind, and I've been able to see, hey, this is what mama said. Hey, this is what uncle said. Hey, this is what auntie did that one time. And hey, look at what you're doing now. You're kind of copying off them in a way in a bit. But as well, when I was able to see my mind doing that, I was then able to take that extra cut around the corner and realize that this is my mind coming up with this. Not this is my totality of thinking, so this is how I should move. Like, these are the instructions for life. Just because I first thought about it. No, there's a thought behind that thought. Now that you're thinking about this, don't you like when you got a whole, you got this pencil and this pencil all in front of you. 3 different pencils all in front of you. And you're like, all right, this is what I'm dealing with. So I have to deal with these 3 pencils if I want to draw with reality and the state that they're in, because this is what I have. This is like our feelings. All right, this is what I have. This is what I feel. This is what I'm doing. But this pencil was made by Dixon. This pencil was made by Graphite Force. And this one was made by Blick Studios. They all seem like it's the same thing. Or, all right, I know what a pencil is. This is what I got to do. But these companies make these pencils in different ways. Like, this is a number 2 pencil. This is a HB2 pencil. And this is a 6B2 pencil. And here go another one to throw in the mix, a 2H pencil. Now, when you actually draw with these, they have different shades that they draw with. Now, if you look at these as all pencils, you're like, it's all the same shade. What the fuck? Like, you just get the pencil and you do what you got to do. I'm looking for my bag. But if you was actually shade these out, they would be different values. They have different values to them, from light to dark. From, like, if you just scribble on something. Let me see if I can show a clean example. Oh, yeah. Stark difference. All right. Look at this. All right. Make that a little big. Now I'm going to do it live. See, look. Here go one pencil. Here goes the other one. So you already can see the difference. How you can see this one a lot more than that one. And then here goes the 2H pencil. Barely see that, John. You can barely see, you see? But to the mind's eye, to the layman's eye at first, the layman's eye, they all just seem like pencils. So you just grab the pencil and you go about your do. Growing up in the hood, I grew up in the projects where people do not run off complicated. It is a complicated mix of emotions, but it's not a strategic. Everything is just a pencil. Everything is just a pen. So it becomes the attitude, this is just what you do. This is just how you live. This is just how you react. And I've seen people get shot. I've seen people do drugs just sitting on the corner. I've seen family members be broken apart. I've seen kids grow up to kill other people. Kids grow up to not even be an adult and die while they're still a kid. And it was all with this form of thinking around them that this is what you got. Not really saying, hey, look at what you got. How can you develop what you got and see where it comes from? It's not all from the same company. This was all given. My nose is itchy. It's a lot of cool things in the world when paying attention to how things concur instead of how things are occurring. But yo, let's get into some cool shit, man. Nose is killing me. It's not even runny. It's straight itchy. It's dry too. There's no boogies in there. Just dry and itchy. And if y'all wonder why I got this book here in the corner, up on the top, I have recently... Oh, it never went live on YouTube, on TikTok. I swear I pressed the button. Yeah, I did. I clicked free speech. Whatever. Yeah, I have a book coming out now. Whoop whoop. A True Life Stories, A Time to Trip. It is a collection of stories from my bro True Life. And what he did was, he has people come on the show, talk about their psychedelic experiences for years. And what I did, I gathered those stories verbatim. I did not change up the words. I had to transcribe, so it's word for word what the person said about their experience while on the True Life Stories. This is from dreams to horror stories to first time doing psychedelics. Yeah, I was saying TikTok can't connect. Is that why I messed up last time? It's saying it's bad internet. But I'm using the same internet that I'm using for everything else. Yeah, back with this book, then I'll fix that. It is available now on Amazon. I didn't add too much extra, like, this is what I think about it. So while you're reading it, I left it open for you to be the interpreter of these stories. But all the stories are right there, and it's a time to trip. A True Life Stories by Santai. Check it out. Brought to you by Timation Studios. At it again. But what I want to go through now, we can go through some TikToks that I saved. Yes, I saved some TikToks, some videos so that we can go down some lore and see what's going on in the world. Explore the world around us. I saved some. I'm going to go through my likes and favorites. That's because TikTok is trying to trip me out. They trying to throw off the show. We're on a roll right now. Dang. I want to show off this guy, Beautiful One. He got the show from Beautiful Joe, which is my favorite game on GameCube. But art and your imagination, and don't let it stop when you a kid. Just imagine when you was a kid, you didn't have access to too much tools to work with. You had to ask your mama for everything. Now that we all are grown and adults, man, go have some fun out there. Stretch out. Don't let the world beat you down. How we feel throughout the day allow us to be able to conquer and face other things in life. But if it's just filled a bunch of dread and yeah, what the fuck else you gonna look forward to? What the fuck else? All right. Where was some news? Where was some news? Shout out to my brother Renzo. Yeah, I can't keep scratching my nose this whole podcast, right? Shout out to my brother Renzo. He posted this. He said it's easy to hide or run away. That's all what us humans call avoidant attachment lifestyle. Oh, no copyright. To face what scares you the most is true courage over your entire being without folding in its presence. And that's my blood bro, Renzo. I've been talking to him a lot more. He's a very intelligent guy. 19 with a mean mind. He's going to let you know and be able to grow at the same time. Shout him out. Alright, did y'all hear about this? I never knew this. This guy, let's go through real fast. But he's talking about yoga existing in Egypt. Samai Tawi. Oh, long enough. Breathing. See, union. I think a lot of people develop forms of stretching. Like to call this yoga, they didn't call it yoga in Egypt. It was called Samai Tawi, whatever he's called it. But in Indian language, yoga is an Indian word, and that means union as well, which I found pretty interesting that two different cultures came up with a way that when you stretch and breathe and become mindful, that we should call this union. So that's what they should call it. They should call it yoga over here. They should call it union. Trying to do some union today? Yeah, I'm trying to unit up. Yeah, why is... Let me cut out some other stuff in the background. We can't play a simple TikTok video without it, like, stopping like this? That's bogus. Come on. I'm trying to make it seem like my internet is trash or something. That's what it is. I don't think I can stream on TikTok at the same time. You want to try one more time? Yeah, we had to start it again. But we here. Sma. Dang, TikTok is not working. We just have to end the live. And of the two lands, the upper and lower crown of Egypt, that was also what the Pharaoh wore for to symbolize union between the two lands. It wasn't just about the lands of the upper and lower, but that's a symbolic representation of something that's actually going on in their mind. Since the Pharaoh and they honored him for being able to acknowledge this, that's why they gave him the crown. Just tie down. Sma. Oh, you got a mushroom necklace. Samai Tawi. Did I just? Yeah, I said that. I know secrets. Doesn't it say things you think about can bring about goodness or illnesses, diseases or much ease, depending on where your mind is, your soul. The Heru in Maket. What's this? I never put that together, bro. Wait, stop right there. You cooking. He cooking right now. He tying it on down. He said the the human head on top of the animalistic body can represent him. This is what he's saying, but I dig this interpretation. I dig it because once you dig in there and blow away some of the dust, you can see what he mean. The animalistic nature, just like in other cultures, like the Hermetic Jewish traditions or Kabbalah and stuff like that, started in Mount Kuf, in the Tree of Life with the Sephiroth. Malkuth is the animalistic nature, survival, the I'ma get you type shit. You got me, I'ma get you type time is on. And all the thoughts that come with that. Being able to see all the thoughts, like I was saying earlier in the podcast, how they are just pencils. They're all pencils. But the soul can see how they're different kind of pencils. 2H, 2B, 6B pencils with all different shadings when you actually start using them. Instead of just forgetting and having short-term memory and say, hey, it's the same thing. You ever see like a dog is loyal by how they can have short-term memory? A bit mixed with long too. But how they take things. You're like, did you just remember that happened? And you're like, nah, I don't give a So like, it's the higher self. The man on the Sphinx is the higher over to the animalistic nature, so it's able to witness it forgetting things and witness it remembering things at the same damn time. So then it can be wise about how that person wants to move, how it wishes to move. The Netarus. Are you a Netaru? How you spell that? Netaru. I think we ran across this word a long... Hey. Let's see what the Netaru is. And we're going to ask... Dang, come on, internet. Why are we acting like this today? But while that's loading, I do find it pretty cool that different people around the world was attributing breath to union, to be, because when you start breathing and stretching, you start automatically realizing this. Now, I have participated in psilocybin mushrooms for a couple of years now under different and many of circumstances, like very varied. I want to use many varied synonyms as I can. And with that, I have been by myself and stretching in different poses and feeling I'm making up stuff. But with the making up, it seems so efficient because the thought process that will come to me while I'm doing so. And it wouldn't just be like I would do the tree pose and the ones that are general lotus pose that we see all the time in cartoons on TV, and they speak like, all right, I need a template. But at those moments where those templates and it's just me looking at all the templates, like me looking at all the pencils and seeing that they are different kind of pencils, even though they're all pencils. One is 6B, one is 2H, and one is 2B. They all got different shadings. I was able to see, hey, how do I want to create my own art in this moment? How does my body wish to move? And I'll be out at the park, by some water, and I'll be stretching. I'll be doing some cool things, and it will really help me out. I will unlock a memory of a childhood or a memory of some alternative lifetime where I'm flying a jet, or I'm an ant or something walking around. Like, these thoughts and stories and imaginations will flood into my mind while I'm holding that pose. Or a way that I was feeling anger or something like that. I will see a story of myself with that story of anger, and it will be playing out for me to understand what's going on. And don't you know how they will say in yoga and stuff, say, hey, you do this with your hip, you unleashing this. You do this specifically with this, you release. I think that's foolish. I think that you're going to release whatever the fuck is going to come out in that moment. But how people look for templates, how people look for pencils, they're just going to generalize a lot of things. I can use this pencil and draw anything. And they're going to feel like it. And they're going to have their version of it. But what happens when you go to school and learn that it's different kind of pencils, is many shades to gray. It's many shades to gray, and you can create those shades. Me experiencing that in the park by myself shows me that it wasn't just the Indians that had it, wasn't just the Egyptians that had it, it was probably the Zulu that had it. What about the Antarcticans? What about the Cherokee Indians? I think everybody had their own breath patterns that allowed them to overcome their animalistic natures, or in therapy allowed them to see and talk, be able to digest their PTSD systems, be able to learn something new in a cadence to how they wish to pronounce themselves, when everything else seemed to not be how they wish to pronounce themselves, even if it's an aspect of themselves. Let's see if this video started playing again. I mean, the page loaded up. That's what he's looking for. Netaru, the divine energies in the pre-creation being, none, nothingness. Every Egyptian text begins with the same basic belief that before the beginning of things, there was a liquidity primeval abyss, everywhere, endless and without boundaries or directions. Egyptians called this cosmic ocean watery chaos Nu, nigh none. The unpolarized state of matter. Water is formless, and of itself it does not take on any shape, nor does it resist being shaped. Oh, so yeah, it doesn't take on any, has no shape, and it'll take on any shape, and turn into another shape after being that shape. Such chaos is the pre-creation state, which was caused by the composition of matter, i.e., atoms did not exist in a normal states, but were squeezed so closely together that many atomic nuclei were crowded into a space previously occupied by a single atom. Under such conditions, the electrons of these atoms were squeezed out of their orbits and moved about freely, i.e., in a chaotic, degenerate state. None is the subjective being, the symbol of the unformed, undefined, undifferentiated energy matter, inherited or inactive, the uncreated state before the creation. It cannot be the cause of its transformation. The term infinite, of course, is synonymous with not infinite, undefined, unlimited, unshaped, undifferentiated, and so on. Yo, they going off what I was going off of, throwing off all the terms. Like, let's get all the synonyms in there. This means that the energy matter out of all things which are formed must be in its essential state unformed, undefined, and undifferentiated. If the material basis of the world had any essential definitions formless, these will act as limiting factors to its ability to be transformed indefinitely. Its essential lack of definition is an absolute requirement of God's creative omnipotence. All right, where's the part where they talk about, this is cool, but where's they talk about the Neteru? Okay. The cycle creation is caused by and maintained by divine forces of energy. These energies are like the perpetual cycle of creation, go through a process of transformation from birth, life, aging, death, to rebirth. We as humans have similar life forces that change throughout our lives. Our human bodies consist of numerous cycles that govern our life existence. Our forces die out when we die. The Egyptians called these divine forces Neteru. The main theme of the universe is the cyclical nature. The Neteru are the forces of nature which make the world go round, so to speak. To simply call them gods and goddesses gives them a false impression. Alright, so they're spirits, is what the Egyptians called them. The word neter means a power that is able to generate life or maintain when it's generated. Alright, that's cool. I see the link if y'all want to go more into there. What I'm going to do now, I wanted to go and see what, if this is going to be too much to log in, I won't do it. See how it's not even trained? Alright. Let's do this. Oh, and we gotta... Come on. Come on, you can do it. Sign in. I want to exit the question about the origin, the timeline span of when the yoga was made, the Egypt Union was made. How do you say the word? Got me with the tits. Can't lie. Sami. Sami. Samai. Tai. Samai. Tawi. Samai. I'm not trying to buy a plan. I just want to sign in and use you. Oh, I'm seeing with education. If I can use my account and get a free education plan, that would be cool. Allow. You may use my... Hey! Are you working? What mic is he using? Can you hear me? I'm talking to you. Hey! Oh, we got the wrong microphone on there. Alright, manage. Bang. This is what you should use. Is it working? No, it went back to saying using streaming microphone. So I probably have to refresh. Sorry for the technical woo wows. Can you hear me talk? All right, I wanted to talk about ancient Egyptian. It was called the Sawi. No, 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 no. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, I gotta get it right. I gotta get the pronunciation. Samai Tawi. Samai Tawi. Samai Tawi. Samai Tawi. Hey, I want to learn about the Samai Tawi of the Egyptian culture. No, 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 no. The Samai Tawi. It was a form of yoga. I did not say Chai Chi. I'm going to have to type. Oh, it was not. It was not trying to get. It was like I can help you speak English. I'm speak. I'm not trying to speak English. Let's just do some old fashioned typing. But I like Perplexity because it can look up different sites and put it all together. There it is. Sabao Tawi is an ancient of stretching, posture, breath, and meditation. The phrase Smile Tawi translate union of the two lands. Yeah, like the guy said. Core concepts, I want to see the spine and lung are emphasized in Samatawi symbolism, representing the body's energy centers. Much of the practice is devoted to breath control and spinal alignments to facilitate the free flow of life force energy, sometimes called Sikkim. Sikkim, guys! Sikkim, dog! Involves slow, controlled geometric movements that realign the spine, strengthen muscles, and improve flexibility. Now I'm gonna break it down for what I believe they saying about that from my experience. When your back is not straight, you feel that when you're trying to breathe evenly, and then you just get used to breathing more shallow if you're sitting like this, or like to the side. It's like stopping the esophagus where the lung. When you're sitting straight up, you got to use your back muscles. You got to sit your shoulders back. You feel all these things that you just leave up to gravity to just, it's just like this. And that's why a lot of Americans got a hunchback. A lot of old people grow a hunchback. They're not breathing properly. And you can still live, but how are your thoughts about yourself? Like, imagine if you was able to sit up for most of the day and breathe. It's not even just about connecting all of those breaths, but how strong does your back have to be to do that? If it's not, that means during this whole time of trying to posture yourself and get the breath, you're strengthening your back muscle. So now you can pick up more stuff. You can feel more defined. Who got your back? You got your back. You got your back. All of these practices involve so much more than the words, than the one sentence that they invoke themselves from. It's a huge story. A huge, wonderful story at that. Make this a little bigger. Key poses are inspired by deities and natural elements and visualizations intended to connect practitioners to an aspect of ancient Egyptian wisdom and cosmetology. Let's see what one of those are. I'm curious. I'm very curious. Oh, and it's a town. It's a holistic discipline. Oh, I thought it was a town. Hmm. Gotta wait for that. All right. Compare to history of yoga in India. Which came first? All right, let's see, because you know a lot of people go to the Indian yoga, praise the Indians. They become full blown Hindu, even though they're Americans. And they, uh, meditation. Of course, not going to load. Scholars supporting Kemetic claims point to ancient carvings and hieroglyphs in ancient Egypt thousands of years before similar evidence emerges in India. But here they put this chart, but I don't know where they made that chart from. Saying the whole 9,000, 8,000 years before. Mainstream scholarship continues to credit India as the birthplace of yoga, with historical documentation beginning around 2,500 BC. That's still not 10,000 years. We're just going to forget that chart that they put right here. Where did 10,000 come from? Oh, this is Egypt. Oh. I'm like, I never heard of Indians saying 10,000 years ago. I heard of 5,000 years ago, but not 10,000. But 10,000 years ago, that can also put it at the time when they say the Sphinx was made. 10,000 years ago as opposed to 2,500 or 3,000 years ago, because of how the rainwater has been found on the side of the Sphinx. It points to it being at least 10,000 years over when the high driest period happened in America and the comets fell and the earth was changed up. Check out I'd say David Copperfield or David Cock. What the fuck is his name? What is his name? It's not coming up. Y'all know who I'm. Come from Sanskrit, appearing in texts in India, but Egyptian tradition used the term samai, meaning union. Both systems yeah, we know. While the claim that Egyptian yoga predates Indian yoga is supported by some African-centered scholars and teachers, it remains debated in mainstream historical circles, with the majority of circles identifying Indian yoga as beginning around 5,000 years ago. Didn't I say that earlier? Yeah. And Kemetic yoga claiming much older origins. Yeah, my buddy brought up the 5,000 years. He was like, well, you know, it's a 5,000-year-old tradition, so I'm just going with what humans been doing the longest. Like, that's still following templates to me. But that's my bro. That's my bro. So I'm going to support him. But I don't mean that's what I got to do. Just tie. Because I'm seeing right here, Egyptian yoga, Samai is even older. And the one I came up with in the park was even newer. It was more like in tone. Because I could come up with whatever I want and just believe it and feel it and really work with it. And it's going to have the exact same results. That ends that debate. But Samai was here way before yoga, before the Sanskrit. Who? Just tie. And they still calling it yoga. It's just called union, breath of mind. Use the term. See how it's being things are fed to us, and that causes for more debate. When you could just look at the ingredients of a meal and see the ingredients and see the meal, then you can see how different meals can be made from that same ingredients. You don't have to say the meal to point to the ingredients. You can point to the ingredients and allow the meal to build itself up. We have to make something out of this. Because look at how culture is assimilated. Look how culture is being assimilated. How people will so fast run and be like I said, be a whole Indian Hindu, and they're American instead of coming up with something themselves, or not even really honing into something, just being loose with it, being totally loose with it. But when it comes to how the human mind works in general, what I've realized is that that's what it's going to do. It's going to pick up on things. Just look at what's going on with Japan. You know, Japan went through a whole genocide before where they killed thousands of people to get the light fair skinned people. Oh, you couldn't hear the video I was playing. I didn't know if anybody was here, period, Yosef. Oh, I'll make sure it plays next time. Let me actually fix that now. I can go here, make sure whatever's playing through the log tech that I can hear. Alright, so y'all couldn't hear my
As you
guy.
can see from these
This is
glyphs, the
voice.
first one, the two lands, but two lands is representing your higher and lower self, as in as above, so below. Nature. The
But
Sphinx
he
pose
basically went over. I basically went
is
over everything he
told to
said
be
already, so I'm gonna
always
keep
by
on
God.
going. I'm gonna keep on going. Alright, where were we? And yeah, get into yourself and how Japan had a whole genocide going on. It was a lot of brown skinned people in Japan. They were brown skinned people. And then they were wiped out. And they're still there, but they're called a different name. And it's a name that people really don't want to call them. I mean, that they don't really want to call themselves. Just like how black people are known as the niggas now. Because you could have stepped with the nagas. You could have just got rid of all the N words, period. Period. You could have got rid of all the N words and stopped referring. We had to switch it around and say, all right, this is how I refer to myself. Because we taking back the word for ourselves. Yeah, I'm high and mighty. Motherfucking yeah. That does play well in some circles. But in the big full solids, the big fullness of the world, it takes noticing that that was a creation too. It's fun to play around with and to witness certain parts of the mind and how it's intrinsically involved with everything. It's everything. I could be a nigga. I could be a scientist. I could be everything. I could be anything. I'm all of those things. I don't even, it's not that I can. I am all of those things and more. But how things are pronounced, if you don't know the ingredients, you're just gonna fall in love with the sauce, or you're gonna judge the sauce. So like what I'm saying in Japan, it was a genocide there, and see a lot of people praise Japan now. Oh yeah, this is going on, this happened. We gotta go to Japan. They're so clean, they're so mindful, they have honor, they have respect and stuff like that. But this is how they made themselves out to be. This is just the story. This is the meal plan that they made for themselves without telling everybody the ingredients, like chef secret. Shh. And like I'd say that to say, look at Gaza in Palestine. Like the reason why we have the internet, it's changed so much tremendously. For us to be able to witness in real time what's going on in a foreign land while powers that be are going at each other and literally dishing out stories that are not happening to the rest of the world, we're able to see how we see it, how we want to, how we're able to see from different angles, like from people in the street, from children dying, from a bomb blowing up their like house. Fuck a hospital, like that second, like they was just chilling in their house. And they're just blowing up, and we're able to see their stories. Then see other people say, well, this is why it happened, this is what we had to do, and this, that, and that. And we just like, hold up, we can see, we've been using the internet all our lives. We know how to use the internet, bro. Yo, Yahoo, we know how to fucking use the internet. We know what's going on. We even see what you're saying and what other people have to say that's there. You ever been at somebody's house and they trying to cover up for an abusive relationship? So then you hear how they're talking and how they probably roll their eyes when somebody bring up something that you know will get a person that's in a abusive relationship to say something. So you like, yo, I see your gears. I see the gears turning in your head. That's exactly what's happening. And culture seem to do this a lot. Like, look at even America. The Native Americans are still complaining about what the Europeans did when they came over and genocided all of them and called them Indians. Like, hey, don't you know India is all the way on the other side of the world? Like, and aren't y'all navigators self-aware enough to know? They like, no, this is what it is, and we're going to they're going to call you this and gentrify y'all and take away y'all culture, and now y'all are this. Y'all have to act this new white culture. And that's what's tremendous about what the mind can do. But that's what's tremendous about what the mind can also witness it doing. Instead of just saying, hey, these are the templates. This is what you, this is how you feel. This is what you react to. We see in the whole world react to this Gaza Israel situation. They don't even call themselves Israelites. This Palestine versus Israelis, not Palestine versus Israelites. Israelites are the ones you heard about for thousands of years and stuff. And these people now, they're not even all the way from here, from Jerusalem. They're from many different parts of the world coming together to call themselves Jewish. They're ish. They're Jewish. They're not Jewish. They're not Israelites. They're Israeli. It's all in the word. It's all in the meal. Just remember the ingredients. Remember the ingredients to the meal. And we'll always find ourselves in that observer position, practicing smai. Practicing smai. What was the last part? I'm gonna get this.
Side through.
I'm gonna get this. How did you say it, bro? Because it's not just about one culture being on top of the other one. It's about how all cultures can be assimilated. Assimilated, even if that never happens
Years.
on Earth. Even if that never happens on Earth, individuals could still stick up in their own power, their own waver, and be able to think about these things and act on them. And act on them in their own time. How they feel about their own life. Not have it be characterized like how it is from a dictatorship, but characterize how it is to be a human being that is feeling these things. So instead of reacting how a reptilian will react, reacting like how your mama will react if she had everything she always needed in life to take care of you. If she had all the feelings and know how to do what she had to do, and you know your mama wanted to do it. You know grandma wanted to do it. You know daddy was. That's how you should. That's how I like to look at things. And that's what the psychedelics helped me out a lot. It helped me not be able to get so much entrapped into the templates of the world and what's given to me, but be able to observe and at the same time participate with my own way of living life, while having that way of life still be tangible to being able to eat, being able to communicate with others, being able to build, being able to observe new ideas that I never thought about, being able to integrate those new ideas into things that are going to work, and sometimes things that just don't work. It was just a day, just something to try out. It was cool, but now it's gone. And hey, that's the way of the world. Or you just, as the shirt says, as my shirt says, take a bite out of life. I made this shirt a couple years ago. I was going to show it back, but take a bite out of life. Just take a bite, see what it is. As you got to do that for yourself. There ain't going to be a lot of people that have your back all the time. Look here. Nobody part of the live right now. I'm sitting here still chilling, still talking because I know what I already wanted to say, even when I didn't know everything I wanted to say. I know that this show was supposed to happen. I know that I wanted to have fun. I know that I wanted to enjoy sharing and learning new information. And be able to look back on it. Now, you don't move with what you know. I thought it was a lot of people there with me. A lot of people, a lot of so-called friends and stuff. But that's just because I was throwing the meal plan at them, throwing the template. You're my friend, you're this, so you're going to act. No, they're not. No, they are not. You got to act and respond the way you want to. Like I made that video earlier. I was thinking about how people will manipulate you with a smile and money. With a smile and money. But when you really say what you feel and what's going on in your mind, then they go silent, they go blank, they don't want to talk to you. Or in the wild side of things, they call you crazy. And 99% of the people, 98% of the people in my life right now are extremely like that. Are extremely like that. People that I was working with, older guys, younger people that I was working with. Because I finally decided I don't give a fuck about your money like that. I needed your money to survive. I needed to do this thing to survive, and I was able to extract a lot of good information and pass things on to you. But the whole time, I felt like I was getting played in a way. I felt like it was different things that I was able to introduce to the scenario that was not able to get introduced because of how other people were looking at my vernacular, the way I wanted to dress, the way I pronounced myself without asking, why are you doing that in the first place? So it was up to me to figure out why I was doing so in the presence of that, in the presence of fire. And that's why I say never fucking quit, never give up no matter what is going on. Because it's you that's going to be giving up. You can say everybody gave up on me, everybody. No, it's you that gave up on yourself in those moments. Because that's how I feel about myself. It feels like I gave up on myself in some moments. And that's why I had to participate in things I didn't want to for longer periods of time than what was needed if I just felt like I didn't have to. And just take whatever comes with it. A lot of people scared to lose. Never be afraid to lose. Because you have way more than what you already realize. Never be afraid to lose, because you have more than what you realize already. And the thing that was going to be lost was already lost. You just tried to recategorize it. I tried to recategorize it as something that was there instead of paying attention to the things that are really there. It's pretty simple. Just tie now. Just tie now. Just think about it. Yeah.
See from this
All right, let's
beautiful
go. Let's find some more TikTok videos. All right, what was another cool one? What was this? My dancing. Hold on. No, I still remember you let the clown. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to clown around? With Lunette and Molly, Alpaca, her dolly, and the big comfy couch. I used to watch this show, man. That's wild that her and Steve from Blue's Clues got married. But hey, their spirit was bringing joy to so many people back in the day. I was watching this show intensely. Shout outs to the Dust Bunnies. Oh, did y'all hear about the guy suing ICE for $50 million? Because they didn't try. They raided his establishment where he had jobs and like people working.
$50 million.
Look, that's him right there.
After being arrested and injured during
they tackled him to the ground. He said, "These are my workers," and he's like, "I'm an American citizen."
Federal agents. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Starr with his live in Van Nuys with what that owner is saying today. Leo.
Hey, my friend, we're just outside of the owner's car wash here in Van Nuys. He and his attorney held a news conference just a short while ago.
It's a car
and the
wash.
owner spoke to us, but he did it in a lot of pain. Here's more. Surveillance video shows federal agents body slamming 79-year-old American citizen Rafi Shohed just
He's
outside
79.
of his car
Look
wash
at
in
that.
Van Nuys, roughly
Look
2
how
weeks
fast
ago.
he tackled them.
Just after Rafi says agents stormed into his
They
business
just trying to
and
set
roughed
an
him up
example.
after he attempted
And
to
I put
ask
these videos out like this. I want to do this because fuck their example. Like, you could get shit done, but like this comment say, you don't gotta be a fucking loser ass bitch about it.
what they needed. He says upon making it outside, the agents pummeled him again.
I have a heart condition. 3 big people were sitting on my back, the way they tore me down, sitting on me, and I asked them to let me go, which they absolutely would not pay no attention.
Rafi says he was terrified as he
Yeah,
tried
they
to
act like
explain
he was
to the
able to do
agents
something in
that
the
his
first
employees
place.
were authorized to be on the job. Yet he says they took at least 5 of his employees away in handcuffs. He says he screamed that he is an American citizen and had proof in
See,
his wallet,
after
but he
American
says
citizen, they should have just put his ass back. I got them proof of American citizenship in my pocket. So let me put it back.
Please
And
fill
nah,
out
these
FEVs.
ICE soldiers, I ain't even
Only
gonna
what
call
they
them
say,
other names
you
from other
do not
periods in
F
time.
with
This is
ICE.
ICE
You do
doing
not
it.
F with ICE. You do not
$50
F
million.
with ICE.
Rafi
Yeah,
says
get
he
your
suffered
money.
multiple
Broken
ribs,
ribs.
damage to his brain from being slammed head first into the
Damn.
ground, and deep bruising and swelling to his arms from being restrained.
American
He was
citizen.
detained at a federal
Look at that
detention
arm.
center for nearly a dozen hours before finally
And
being
they still
released.
locked him up
His
for
family
over
taking
12
him
hours
to the hospital.
to figure
His
out what's
lawyer
going
filing
on.
a civil
They
rights
was
claim
never
seeking
there
$50
for him. He
million
just
in
spoke up.
damages.
ICE and DHS violated their policies
Damn.
that day. They violated the United States Constitution, and they violated California state law. And we feel
I
very
hope he get his
confident that
money.
we're going to be able to achieve justice for Rafi Shuhead in a court of law.
I have broken ribs, I guess.
His wife in utter tears.
Even know where he was for hours, and with his heart condition and stents,
Yeah, he
they could've
disappeared
very
for 12
easily
hours. That was a
caused his death.
kidnapping. And then just released him.
Yeah, why not be? It's very hurtful.
We reached out to federal officials and have yet to hear back from them.
They ain't gonna talk.
Live in Van Nuys, Leo Stallworth, ABC 7.
They ain't gonna talk. They ain't gonna
In
say
Van
nothing.
Nuys, a car wash owner has
Dang. They ain't gonna say nothing. They gonna keep things going until more and more news just keep coming out every day and every day. That's the thing about this Jimmy Kimmel situation and how things been going on. Because Jimmy Kimmel, it's a big chess game coming up because they said it was for one reason. But if you look at history, and because we have technology now, like I mentioned earlier with Netanyahu, where you can go and look up what people, motherfuckers said, they said Jimmy was on the list. So it's a free speech issue. And then the executives didn't want to really push him off, but they said their hand was forced by the federal government and the FCC. And the FCC is supposed to like be the people that say you can't curse, not the people that say you can't speak up for yourself. Even though in a way they've always been like that. Are you really speaking up for yourself? You can't curse.
I've been hearing a
But
lot
there's many
about
ways
what
to
I
talk.
need to say
Many
and
ways to
do
talk.
tonight.
But
And
this
the
was
truth
part
is,
of his return.
I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human. And that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I don't...
Let's think about it. He didn't make light of it.
I don't think there's anything
So he's
funny
still
about
like
it.
playing some
I
cards for
posted
the
a message
people.
on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking
But
for
when people make
compassion,
you
and I
feel a
meant
certain
it.
way,
I
they'll
still
guilt
do.
trip the shit
Nor
out
was
of
it my
you.
intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a
He
deeply
didn't.
disturbed individual.
He
That
didn't
was
blame
really
no
the
groups.
opposite of the point I was trying to make. But I understand that to some that felt either ill-timed or unclear or maybe...
What he said was that a group was attaching themselves to him, and now they're not.
both. And for those
And
who
that's all
think I
he said.
did point a finger, I get why you're upset. If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance
People say,
I'd
no,
have
it
felt
felt
the
like
same
you
way.
said
I have
this.
many
It
friends
felt like
and
you take that. It felt like you said. But what did I
family
actually
members on
say?
the other side who I love and
What did Jimmy
remain
actually-
close to, even though we don't agree on politics at all. I don't think
Somebody
the
says, so
murderer
now he's
who
an
shot
actor.
Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't. I don't know if you saw this on Sunday. Erica Kirk, for her husband, she forgave him. That is an example.
Yeah, I don't think he really had to like ask for all that forgiveness because he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything, but when the pressure is on, man, he could have went to YouTube is what I was thinking earlier. Fuck your show. Like, oh, people that work for me, let them work for y'all. For you, y'all just go on YouTube or do something, start your own website and just literally start from scratch and just go back up again. Like, people got so much ties into business and things that they change their whole personality. Like, he didn't really have to apologize on that part. For other things, yeah, maybe so. But he did not do that.
You almost have to feel sorry for him. He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly. He might have to release the Epstein files to distract us from this now. The President of the United States made it very clear he won't.
They're say so happy he's not apologizing. He did
and the
apologize.
hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates.
Come on, keep playing. Cause that was a funny thing for Trump. He said he got bad ratings, but him talking about everything Trump would talk about is going to blow up. Gave him millions of ratings.
He was somehow able to squeeze Colbert out of CBS.
And Trump and them know that if they want to still be able to do what they got to do right now in America, they got to let people talk shit about them. They still gonna move the best way that they see possible.
For NBC to fire
But
Jimmy Fallon
man,
and
they
Seth
gotta
Meyers
see
and
the
hundreds of
powers.
Americans who work for their shows who don't
Powers that be only are at power because of how the people that's around them respect and are obligated to them. If we keep on doing these things when this is happening, it's going to be impossible for them to do this. Impossible. Unless some traumatic another September 11 shit happen and it goes past all our radars that they set it up and they blame it on some other people. It's going to be impossible. Because we see what's happening with Kim Jong-un. We see what's happening in Russia. Like Americans, they see some things. The Americans may fall for a lot of corporatized shit, but they're not falling for no dictatorship. And a lot of people may say, hey, well, you already and still voted for him. Hey, people wise up. People wise up to things. Like, look at Andrew Schwartz. He had Trump on there. He voted for Trump. And now he's, like, regretted, but how his vote was taken advantage of. The things he talked about in that moment. And he's not letting it up. In the past, a lot of times, when people taken advantage of politicians, you never heard from them again. They never heard. They got their money or something. You never heard. And we told multiple stories about it. And then we never know if they stuck by their decision or if they've regretted it. Because they're still human beings. And the more we treat people like human beings, the more we be able to develop in a way where we're treating even more people like human beings. Like, hey, you have emotions and decisions. You probably made a mistake, but we're still here with you. You got to own up for it at this point. And you don't have to own up for this part because you literally didn't know it was out of your hands. But for the parts you can be responsible for, let's have a conversation about it and then see what actions to take place after that. When those kind of things start happening, we'll see a whole new place. Hey.
You said don't like baths, but can I please have one? I stink.
Go ahead. I can't stop the show right now, but turn in the hot and cold water. The hot one is close to the wall, and the cold water is close to the toilet. I'm going to stay locked in. Staying locked in, man. Staying locked in. On how you want to move.
Millions of dollars.
What is free speech to you? Trump and all his cases can't stop you from wasting your time. From wasting your time. How people revolt against things is how people empower and that people voted into power. That's how they look at the world and see what they can do next. And not just next. So they say, hey, look, we did this, but they're going to do something next week. All right, we rebelled, but we did this and they do it next week. No, constant rebellion affects things through generations. It affects things over a longer period of time. Like AI, China's talking about AI, but they ain't saying, hey, next year we're going to be over everybody. 2 years later, we're going to be over everybody. They're saying in 10 years, just you wait. We're going to be over top of everybody. 10 years in the future. But everybody focused about 2 months later and this and that. Oh, I'm not going to do this because it's not going to make a difference tomorrow. What about the difference it makes 5 years later when somebody sees that somebody's stuck up for something at this point in time? So that spirit revitalizes itself in that person, in that boy, in that girl, in that woman, in that man, in those moments where tyranny is knocking at their doorsteps and they see what somebody did 5 years ago. And then that motivates them to now push and changes the whole world, changes the demographics, the economic politics, the economical politics of everything. You never know how the butterfly is gonna flap its wings and affect everything. I love it. And that's what shows me about this Jimmy Kimmel situation. Because Stephen Colbert is still going down. It's just taking some time. Think long term. Think long term. And that's what this come to psychedelics, and I hear people taking mushrooms and stuff. A lot of panic ensues from what is going to happen in the next minute, the next hour, the next day, the next moon phase. But it deals with having a focus on what's happening in a much longer period of time. Because that much longer period of time can be a much higher period of time. The human mind is capable of miraculous things. Don't limit yourself to the machine. Limit yourself to your own imagination. Because then when you're at that limit of imagination, it keeps on going. And then when you see that imagination is entwined with doing, then you see that you could do anything that you imagine. Just keep on imagining. And see where those imaginations come from. Like I've been saying this whole podcast. What template? Are you looking at these as just pencils? Or do you see that they are different shades of pencils? The 6B, a 2H, and a 2B pencil. So when you draw, bang, bang, bang. And they look like they're from the same company, but they're actually not. So the more you actually know, it's actually useful. What if you want to visit one of those companies that's making the pencil? Get your own customized pencil. Or see that they have specialty pencils that they didn't just sell in the dollar store. A lot of people shop at the dollar store all their life. So their whole creativity, whole personality is dollar store personality. Because that's what the dollar store offered them. This time.
And I hope
what are you being offered? Do you just satisfied with your offered? Or do you go for more? Or do you see more as, oh, I don't need all of that? Who told you that? Who told you ain't need all of that? Or who gave you the phrase all of that as a dismissive spell to say, oh, I actually need to get myself together. That involves doing this, doing that, and getting that. And it was made out for me to do so. So I'm already started yesterday. Go get my charger. I got it. And my daughter becoming more self-aware. She like, I stink. I need to get washed. That's a level of self-awareness that most people don't have until they highest of highs. Alright, let's go. Let's see what else I had tucked away in my likes and favorites during this week of TikToking. That's the body good to get out what it needs to get out. Sometimes in the form of talking, emoting. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I can't see the screens, man. Hey, what internet am I connected to? This is the home Wi-Fi. It's like when I connected to the streaming, the internet moves slower. It's like, come on. Well, in the meantime,
now this is the time that we arrived up on the scene, feeling so clean. But what was last night when I was feeling so dark? What was last night when I was stabbed in my heart? Where was you, man? I needed you, girl. You know what I mean. You mean so much to the world. Gotta keep going. Where were you? I ask again. Is it true that you left on purpose? That you left my purpose on the floor. Where's your core? Where's your soul? Damn, I be moving too fast. little more. I am calling me a big whore, bringing myself out, doing everything in the world. I did all that for you, baby girl, but what did you see? You were so blind. I had to go, man. What was the time that we had? Is it buried in the ground? Is it locked up in a locker? Do you kick it out like soccer now? I keep us in the sky, and I, deep down inside, I know why. It's my motivation, it's my experience, and I sing this song so you can hear it. But don't be sad, keep yourself home, keep yourself toned. I'm working out, gotta stay fit for this moment that expands and fractalizes into the moment we call infinity. Doing this, God, where all my enemies, none are in sight. Got unlimited energy for this moment. Gotta stay zoning, honing, but there's no landing. We are in flight. Have a good night. This is a way that we just take.
That song called Keep Pushing. Keep Pushing. Oh, we probably do a simulcast with my bro True. But we're gonna keep going through all these TikToks and see what's going on. Oh, it didn't. Okay. It's loading a lot faster.
Nobody talks about how Japan is kind of like East Asian Israel, like OG Israel, but like they did like their ethnic cleansing so long ago, like nobody would have known about it or even given a like Japanese people, what we consider as a Japanese person today. They are not from the island. Just like common sense wise.
But then they committed
what color is the Pacific Island? They're like brown. Japanese people are not brown. They're pale. From what I understand, the two original ethnic groups native to that island were these two ethnic groups, the Ainu and the Ryukyuans. From what I understand, the Ryukyuans lived like the southern islands, and they're like now referred to as Okinawan. I don't know if they're cool with that. I don't think
that's like saying calling them a nigga.
If they're from like the top half of Japan, and they're like kind of recognized, but not really. Like the modern Japanese person is like a combination of three different groups. One group that came from like China, I think they're called like the Jomon. Another group that's from like Korea, and then another group that's like also from China, but like from a different era, and that's like what they are. But yeah, they sort of just like took that island, killed them, suppressed them for like hundreds of years, and they like still don't even like recognize the atrocities against like the Ryukyu and some against the like the Ainu. Like they get like disrespected like crazy over them. And
that's like what I think about Israel and Gaza. The Israelis, not the Israelites, the Israelis in Gaza, like how they're not acknowledging all the people dying in real time. Imagine back then when they had no internet. Imagine then they said, God told us to do this in the end. They killed all them people and said, God told us this was our promised land. That's the book that many people put as the highest respectable book in the whole world above everything else. The Bible. And in that Bible they said, hey, God promised this was our land. And that's why they went back and did it. And there's a lot of talks now of them trying to bring back the Antichrist and bring back the end of the world by having Israel go against the rest of the world. And that's what triggers other events to happen. And all of that can be a ploy by people that know how money works and using the people that want to follow religion as a chess pawn piece along the way.
And you start finally viewing Japan as kind of like East Asian Israel. Their behavior pre-World War II kind of starts making a lot of sense. Like, I'm sure if you're watching this and you're Chinese or Korean, you already have, like, a deep hatred of Japan because of what Japan did to China and because of Japan's, like, occupation of Korea. Just completely horrible shit that they refuse to apologize for. And a lot of Japan's atrocities don't even stop at, like, Asian countries. I learned that there was, like, a group of, like, you know, Japanese mine workers that went to, like, Africa, and a bunch of them were, like, attracted to, like, the Africans there. They had children, you know, half Japanese, half black children.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But look what happens if this unpauses. Dang. I don't know if it's gonna work.
And then, like, the Japanese doctors over there was like, yo, you can't do this. This thing is, like, an abomination. And they killed, like, dozens of, like, African Japanese babies. They were fucking horrible pre-World War II. Like, oh my, like, I'm so glad they fucking lost. Not justifying the bombs or anything, but they were, like, fucking psychos back then.
Yeah, they was fucking psychos.
Nobody talks about how Japan is kind of like...
Yeah, they was fucking psychos. Wiped out whole people and said they ain't gonna remember this anyway. Because they know how human memory works when it just wants to survive. It's going to forget. When a human wants to survive, it is going to forget. Okay? It's going to act like it forgot too if it starts popping up. No, we got to act like we forgot. What are some words to cover that up again? Oh yeah, that was so long ago. Why are you even talking about stuff like that? Don't you got to go to work right now? So many cool things happening. Why are we talking about that thing from 50 years ago? That reminds me about how people talk about racism. Racism doesn't exist. Stop bringing up race. Race doesn't matter anymore. Everybody's going to get together and be one big race. We already one big race, motherfucker. We already one big race called humanity, bitch. Think about that. I'm not just black, you fucking ignorant fuck. I'm a mix of so many things. Black is not even a nationality, you stupid retarded. Like, I have many things mixed in me all the fuck ready, and people are still racist as shit. I have so many things mixed in them already. A Mexican ain't even just a Mexican. They're Spaniards mixed with native people of American, you fucking dumbass. Everybody is mixed together. It's just becoming more mixed. It's going to keep getting more mixed. And then they separate over there for a couple years, and then they're going to come in, their kid going to leave and mix up with this mix. Or the men in the family going to get on a boat and leave, or even the women going to leave and mix up with some other folks. It's already mixed up. Everybody just I'm just postulating in the future, the mixed groups that we look at next, they're going to consider themselves a race. Oh, I'm not black, I'm not white. I'm this. And then they going to be separate from the other people that's calling themselves this and that. Because history is going to repeat each other. Keep on repeating as long as we put so-called race over top of everything else. So I see what they mean when they say racism is... We can't keep looking at race and depending on race, but it needs more definition to it. And part of that definition is that we're already mixed up and people are still racist. So it's going to be looking at more properties that don't deal with skin, period, but culture. Looking at culture and not being a culturist more so. More so, I think that's when it comes being a culturist or looking at people's money. Looking at people's money. And saying, hey, you got more money, so you deserve to live like this. Or you have no money, so that means you never thought about this, so you deserve to live like this. When a person probably thought about that before, but was poor and just didn't have the resources. And that was it. And that's why their behavior is like that. Not because they got this in their genes, or because of that racist thing. Like imagine an Italian person being upset at a black person, not knowing, and for being black and trying to be ultra racist, but not knowing that black person, grandpa was Italian and mixed with a black guy, a black lady, so that's why they skin like that. And then the whole time they just looking at, let's bring back the templates of the pencils. They looking at, it's just a fucking pencil. I know what a pencil is. I know how to use a pencil. I've been using a pencil all my fucking damn life. You can't tell me how to not use a pencil. When I see a pencil, I call it out as a pencil. All right, hold on. This is a 6B pencil. This is a 2HB2 pencil. And this is a 2H pencil. Like some people, they will still bypass that. You're just making up stuff. You're just trying to put science on everything. You're thinking too much about stuff. And that's why a lot of things in the mind, as we see as people, are still going to exist. But how we correlate things for our individual perspectives, it's the only thing that's going to make a damn difference. It's like you infect a little bit of the puzzle, and then it starts spreading out. And still has its correlations, because other things are injecting different things too. They have ideas to inject into the populace. at the same time, and they just start battling it out. But what needs to happen is a synchronization of things, a sync of things, a togetherness of things. At least try to work together. At least fucking try. And that does not always happen. All right. Let's see what else is on the radar. What's our timing looking like? Been here for an hour. Yo, these videos have been the highlight of my day. And it shows too how people get into the mind state of things. The mind state of things and how culture exists. Culture over personality, culture over individuality a lot of times. Because look how this guy is able to scare these people, knowing how they think, even though they're in America now. Oh, he goes around cursing. So I come from Nigeria.
Auntie, why do I keep on seeing you everywhere? I've been sent from Nigeria to come and destroy you. Destroy you.
Look at the guy behind them.
Destroy you.
Destroy me. He said the blood of Jesus. That was the first. The blood of Jesus started a whole battle. Start singing.
Calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down. Calm down, Auntie.
She had a whole Bible prepared. That's a big ass one too. Oh shit, got the commentary in plain big words.
Calm down. Calm down.
This is not supposed to be funny, but it is, because they are serious. They are fighting for their souls right now.
Calm down.
The blood of Jesus. This is the shop owner had to come in. I was just picking up these oranges, but you gotta go.
Calm down.
Causing bad business in my store. Now it's about money. Now it's about my money. But look how quick that reaction was. And look, I like the comments. They was like saying, this is what they're really doing. Like catch the spells. With that look. Unite. Auntie, when she first pulled out the Bible. But you see how if he believed in really what he was doing, it would really come off like that. And that's the mind state that people are playing off of when wartime is called a lot of times, in a lot of moments. A lot of people are calling on that they know that this part of human instinctual behavior exists. And in some people is way more prominent than others. So they can pull on these strings to get you to act wild in public. Or to throw somebody in your face and cause a whole now countrywide phenomenon to happen. Where now laws can be changed based off of your response. Your response. And the fact that people know you're going to respond like this has to be a thing that you know, that you recognize is a possibility. Is a possibility. It's probably happening right now. Just tie down. But for you to know what's going on, thank you for tuning in and for being here. For you to know what is going on, it's your power that they can never take away. They can only coax you into signing up for a subscription that you give up $19.99, $9 of your soul every day in order to be a part of. But this is the most hilarious thing for those reasons, man. Well, let's see it again.
Hello, sorry, ma.
Shout out to Easy TV 2.0 for the upload.
I've been sent from Nigeria to come and destroy you. Destroy you.
Come and do what?
Yes, destroy you.
Look, that's when her laugh left her face. She had like, you gonna do what? Like, you just playing. But then at the...
Yes, destroy you.
Boom, come destroy you. I heard this before. Look, she ran away. And he got the powder. Because they do that over. Look, she laughing in the corner. You see her in the...
Couch, calm down. Calm down. Calm down, auntie.
And that's what a lot of people do, bro. It's so serious. All this is life right here.
Mama, calm down.
Money. The God want him to leave. Religion. The God is using religion. This is what I know. Spirituality. Oh, I understand what's going on over here in the mind, but I'm just going to laugh about it.
Calm down.
And him, I'm going to be the jokester. I'm going to be the jester that's going to come into reality and pick with you.
Calm down.
That video was hilarious to me. Oh, man. I really like this story that come out. Y'all hear about this?
Being punished for disarming and
11-year-old boy
dismantling a
in
gun
Michigan.
that another student brought to the Dwight Rich School of the Arts back in May, and for not speaking up about it right away.
He didn't want to implicate himself in it, nor did he want to tell on the person that actually brought the firearm.
He was able to disarm and disassemble the gun because of his hunting background. McClurkin says in the moment, her son was scared and thought he was helping the other students around him.
It's devastating because he's a bright kid. And all he wants to do is be a kid.
At Thursday night's board meeting, the Lansing School District declined to comment on the issue, even after McClurkin took the stand during public comment. Savitra McClurkin says her son is being punished for disarming and dismantling a gun that another student brought to the Dwight Rich School of the Arts back in May, and for not speaking up about it right away.
He didn't want to.
Oh, I didn't even know it started all over. They did a good loop on me. But just Ty, a young black kid, did his thing to change history. They got to remember that kid had a gun in the school in the first place. So he was planning to go down with the ship. Go down and do some shit. And this bright brown-skinned kid did something, and they got him out of the school and expelled him because he didn't snitch. He didn't tell about the whole story, but he handled it. And nothing ever happened afterwards at all. Nothing. The guy didn't come back. Oh, my friend tried to stop me. Nothing. It actually was a very successful PSYOP mission. If he was in the CIA, they would call this a PSYOP mission. Thank you for your duty, kid. Thank you for your kid. Thank you for your son, Savita McCaughlin. Thank you for your son. Because if this was a kid of any other demeanor of skin, because I said this is how the world works right now, and we just went over this. They say, yo, he's a hero. And the black kid had a hunting background. So he knew about guns. He knew about the precautions, what they can do, what they're used for. You use it to kill animals so you can eat and feed your family like humans been doing for millions of years. Not with a gun, but y'all get what I mean. He gets the existence of a gun. Not that it's to bring to a school and hurt people. So he disassembled that shit from his friend that showed it to him. He said, what the fuck, man? I'm taking this thing. Pop, what the fuck wrong with you, bruh? Get this shit out of here. Don't mention this shit ever again. And he got in trouble. He got in trouble. You know what it's going to say to somebody else? Oh, I know how to help my friend. I brought this gun to school, but I'm not going to do nothing about it. They wanted to say, oh, I'm just going to snitch immediately. I'm just going to snitch. But that's going to make you now bad stakes with the friend in that moment. Now, I'm not saying don't go tell the friend or nobody after you disassemble the gun. But disassembling the gun seems like a good skill to have if you can do that first before just running to tell anybody. Because no telling what's going on in the killer's head. Now I got to kill them all before he go and snitch. Now I got to start this now. I was going to start it tomorrow. I was just contemplating it. But now I got to let shit pop off now before I get caught and never have this opportunity again. But I say again, if it was a white boy that was doing all of this, somebody with a different skin demeanor or a different class of people, different social little economic status, a black boy of prestige, family, so to speak, then they would have said, yeah, this guy's a hero. He comes from an educated gun background and he did his thing and took care of the business. Now we know how kids are with telling and everything, and he's going to grow from this lesson and know for the future. But we're happy for what he did, and we're proud of him. We're even gonna give him this medal of honor. Now, I can see that happening so fast, but with this black kid, nope. That's how culture exists. They looking at him, hey, you didn't really know what you were doing, but he had the culture. He was part of a culture that said he know what he was doing, but because of his skin, they wanted to say no. You don't know what you're doing. You're just a black kid. That's why culture. If we want to be judging anybody, let's look at the culture they exist in, which you can't readily do when you just see somebody walking. It takes asking the person, how did you make this pencil? How did you make your meal? What ingredients did you use? This is how we make our meals over here. How do you make your meals over here?
Implicate.
Okay. I'm trying to see what else was pretty cool. All right, this one.
NVIDIA's investing $100 billion into OpenAI because Sam Altman told Jensen Huang, Jensen, I need more GPUs. We're GPU poor. I need more compute. I have to train GPT-6. I have to be able to tell people how many R's are in Strawberry. I need $100 billion of compute, but I don't have $100 billion. I don't know what to do. Jensen said, Sam, calm down. I'm going to make a $100 billion investment into you guys. You guys have been such loyal customers. You can then use that $100 billion to buy all the GPUs that you need. And Sam said, wait, so you're going to give us the money and then I'm just going to give it right back to you? Aren't we going to get in trouble for that? Jen said, Sam, calm down. You can buy the GPUs from whoever you want. If you so happen to buy it from us, then yes, we will recognize that as revenue and we will see a $100 billion bump over the next 3 to 5 years. And that will certainly increase our stock price. But it's up to you. I want you guys to be successful. Sam said, Jensen, I think that's a great idea. You know what else is a great idea? And I just thought about this. You know what's great? Jensen said, Sam, what? What else is great? I just gave you guys $100 billion. Sam said, well, GPUs are expensive. We're going to spend $100 billion on GPUs. I think we're going to see that as a capital expenditure. And the great thing about CapEx is that I can depreciate it over 3 to 5 years. And if we were profitable, we're not. But if we were, we could use that to offset our taxable income. But since we're not, we could actually just carry that forward to the next year. And
oh, come on, I'm trying to keep up.
Then to the next year. And then to the next year. So eventually, one day when we actually are profitable, we won't have to pay any taxes on that income, because we have all of these net operating losses that we've carried forward to offset that taxable income. We may never have to pay taxes. Jensen said, Sam, you're a genius. And guess what? When you need $1 trillion in compute, let me know. I may be able to help. NVIDIA's investing $100 billion into OpenAI.
So basically what he going over is that Sam Altman got $100 billion from NVIDIA. And NVIDIA makes all the best graphics cards right now. The graphics card that the rest of the world is using to compute AI and run all of these systems. But Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, is going to need a lot more weed to get to where he got to go. He got a lot of customers. He's going to need some mega amount. He's going to need some bricks, bro. So now in order to get these bricks that he know NVIDIA has, he need money. So imagine a drug dealer giving you money to pay them back with drugs, because if you was to just buy the drugs from them, you have to pay a middleman all of this money, like going to the dispensary or some shit. And they're like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to give you the money. And since it's going to be looked at as a donation, we don't have to pay taxes on donating the money as much as usual. And then you just use that money we gave you to buy back from us. And then in the long run, we're going to make sure your business succeeds, because all these little laws that people not paying attention to with depreciation of value in companies, and the appreciation of companies over time, depending on their valueness to the world, we're never going to have to pay taxes again. That's what the guy was saying. And AI is going to take over a lot. I was listening to this other Chinese billionaire saying he started like $10 billion AI companies. And they're going to be using NVIDIA graphics cards or whatever else hopefully comes up in the future to offset it. But the scientists in NVIDIA have been at this for over 20 years. It's humans against humans, but how humanity does, because this is all a human spectacle. Seems so isolated, but this is all a human spectacle. The Chinese, the Russian, and the U.S. government and their AIs, this is all humanity. So I'm trying to see it a little bit out of those eyes too. But that's a lot of money to be pushed around. So man, they trying to get people to work for little scraps and pins and needles and all this money being pushed around. Then take everybody money from income tax and stuff. Get rid of the income tax. Get rid of the income tax. If companies are allowed to do this, if they know the law, like you can make up everybody's income tax. Just about everybody's income tax, like $40,000 below, even $100,000. I don't know, $500,000. And take everybody above that, and they can pay all the income tax needed. All the money they was waiting for income tax so they can pay off certain things the next year, that would suffice for all of it. And they'll still make more money the next year. Okay. What else do we have? What's in my likes? I'm going to let that restart. Letting everything load up. See if something I can click on. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Okay. This was cool.
Today's episode of How the Holy Hell Is That Legal? Yeah. Every day we stray further from God. Scientists made a human mouse chimeric brain, and the mouse was actually more intelligent. Yes, research.
Okay. I'm gonna rewind.
In today's episode of How the Holy Hell Is That Legal? Every day we stray further from God. Scientists made a human mouse chimeric brain, and the mouse was actually more intelligent. Yes, research.
Dang, it's slow and slow. But yeah, they finally got the brain mixed with a mouse. And then when they did that, it was able to complete the task a lot better than the mouse of previous generations.
From Rochester, New York, took human stem cells that were destined to become glial cells and implanted them into a mouse embryo during development. And the adult mice learned faster in every test. What they found when they dissected the adult mouse's brain is that nearly all of the glial cells in the brain were replaced by human. Glial cells provide physical and chemical support to neurons, and the human brain structures are more dense and more efficient than any other animal we know of. This is the same reason why human cells are used in computation using the tiny brains, because they are just better. Yes, I guess that means if you want to clone your pet and have them be humanized and more intelligent, you probably could. Implanting human stem cells during embryonic development is more efficient in terms of making whole connections than just implanting tiny human brains made from stem cells into adult animals, although both are possible. Oh, research involving the use of chimeric cells allows them. In today's episode of
she said even though both are possible, we can't leave that part out. Hold up. Hey, look up.
Could you please specify what you'd like me to look up for you?
Look up information on Rochester, New York, and mice being combined with parts of a human brain.
Researchers at the University of Rochester in New York have conducted studies involving the transplantation of human glial cells into the brains of mice. These human glial cells support neural function and have been shown to enhance the learning and memory abilities of the mice. This approach helps scientists understand human brain biology and neurological disorders. You can read more about these fascinating studies in sources like Smithsonian Magazine and the University of Rochester's news updates.
Hey, give me your opinion. Give me your opinion on the implications of all of this.
The implications of using human brain cells in mice touch on both scientific and ethical aspects. Scientifically, it provides valuable insights into brain function and neurological disorders, potentially advancing treatments for conditions like Alzheimer's and schizophrenia. Ethically, it raises questions about the treatment and rights of these humanized animals, such as their potential cognitive capabilities and their place in ethical research. These developments push us to consider the broader ethical implications of blending human and animal biology in research. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
So, we be making animals a lot smarter than what they are, and then they'd be able to do a lot more things, like, say, with the mice? What if they start questioning the scientists?
The idea of enhancing animal intelligence raises important ethical and philosophical questions. While scientific advancements can potentially lead to a better understanding of cognition and neurological conditions, it's crucial to consider the welfare and rights of these animals. The complexity of their experiences and the ethical treatment required should always guide research in this area. Ensuring that such advancements are conducted with respect and ethical considerations is essential.
It seemed like they already passed the line of ethics, because a lot of people were saying that putting the human cell inside of the animal is crossing the ultimate ethic lines in the first place. So now that that line has been crossed, I think that this opens the door to floodgates of what scientists and a lot of people have been wanting to do for a long time, and that's experimentation on the genetic level with the world around them.
The discussions around ethical boundaries in scientific research are ongoing and vital. Balancing scientific advancement with ethical responsibility ensures that research benefits society without compromising moral principles. Public dialogue, ethical guidelines, and transparency in research are crucial in navigating these challenges. It's important to continue these conversations to ensure responsible and humane approaches to all forms of scientific exploration.
Nice, dope. Because imagine they put this inside of a dog, how the average pet would be. It's reminded me of the episode of Rick and Morty, where they made the dog smart, and then they gave the dog technology. And then it went along to make all the other dogs smart.
It's interesting to see how popular culture explores these concepts. Shows like Rick and Morty often use science fiction to raise questions about ethics, intelligence, and technology. These fictional scenarios can help us think about the real-life implications and responsibilities as we advance in science and technology. It's always important to consider how we approach these developments thoughtfully and ethically.
Yeah, because it has me thinking about building robots with animals and different configurations of, is it more animal or is it more human, or what's the difference? Because do the animals look at humans as animals? Or did we make that distinction? Is it like all the same thing, but we're like the only animal breed that's able to change things, and they'll soon be able to change things? It also has me thinking about the planet of the apes is way more possible now.
Your thoughts touch on some profound philosophical questions about the nature of consciousness, intelligence, and our relationship with other species. Our ability to shape and influence the world around us does set us apart. But it's also a reminder of the responsibility we have in how we treat other living beings in our environment. The idea of a world where different species have more agency or consciousness challenges us to think about empathy, coexistence, and respect across all forms of life. It's a fascinating and ongoing conversation about what it means to be sentient and how we navigate our world and relationships with all living beings.
Come up with a funny scenario where all of this goes wrong.
Imagine a world where all the animals become super intelligent overnight and start running their own businesses. Cats open up luxury pet spas. Dogs start a detective agency to solve missing treats, and parrots launch a top-rated podcast about the best squawks and chirps. Meanwhile, the humans are left trying to keep up, negotiating peace treaties to handle disputes over who gets the comfiest couch spots. In the end, the animals and humans form a united species council, deciding that every species...
Keep going, I'm listening.
As the United Species Council settles into its new role, they come up with creative solutions for collaborating. The dogs handle all the logistics and security, ensuring everyone's needs are met, while the cats run a sophisticated network of communication channels, keeping everyone informed and connected. The parrots become the top performers in entertainment, hosting talk shows that offer insights on the latest trends in bird baths and feather care. Meanwhile, the humans focus...
Keep going. Finish the story.
Everyone has a comfortable and healthy environment. They develop eco-friendly technologies that harness renewable. In this harmonious world, everyone thrives together, respecting each other's strengths and contributions. The animals continue to innovate and create, while humans focus on building a sustainable, thriving environment. Together, they celebrate their diversity and live in a world where cooperation and understanding lead to happiness. Glad you enjoyed it. If you have any more questions or want to continue exploring ideas, just let me know. Pick your time.
Hey,
if there's anything else you'd like to talk
about,
take care.
LSD and Alzheimer's.
Here are some recent studies on the potential of LSD in Alzheimer's research. The potential role of psychedelic therapy in Alzheimer's dementia. This study explores how psychedelic therapy, particularly LSD, might play a role in treating Alzheimer's by promoting neurogenesis and neuroprotection. The research suggests
What does it suggest?
The study suggests that psychedelic therapy, particularly using LSD, may have neuroprotective properties and promote neurogenesis. It also highlights that these therapies might help with symptomatic treatment of Alzheimer's disease and potentially play a role in modifying the disease.
Does this have
if you have more questions or need further information, feel free to ask.
All right. Does this have to do that LSD affects the 5-HA2A receptors, and these are the same receptors that Alzheimer's affects when the disease happens in the person?
Yes, LSD primarily interacts with the 5-HT2A receptors, which are a subtype of serotonin receptors in the brain. These receptors play a role in mood regulation, cognition, and perception. Research suggests that the degeneration of certain...
Keep going. Why you stop? Keep talking.
Research suggests that the degeneration of transmitter systems, including serotonin. Because 5-HT2A receptors play a role in cognitive processes, their interaction with substances like LSD could potentially influence
I don't know why you keep stopping, but talk about how the 5-HT2A deals with cognition.
The 5-HT2A receptors are involved in modulating neurotransmission.
How are they involved in regulating module cognition?
The 5-HT2A receptors play a significant role in regulating cognition by influencing brain areas involved in perception, mood, and thought processes. Activation of these receptors can enhance neural communication and neuroplasticity.
Describe how that happens more. Detail. Describe how that happens in more
When the
detail.
5-HT2A receptors are activated, they can enhance the release of neurotransmitters like glutamate. When LSD activates the 5-HT2A receptors, it influences serotonin signaling in the brain. This activation enhances communication between neurons, promoting neuroplasticity, or the brain's ability to form and reorganize synaptic connections. This process is crucial for learning, memory, and cognitive flexibility. Additionally, the 5-HT2A receptor activation can alter.
Can what? Don't leave me hanging.
Sorry about that. The default mode network, DMN, is involved in self-referential thoughts and consciousness. LSD's interaction with the 5-HT2A receptors can disrupt the DMN, promoting a more interconnected brain state. This can enhance cognitive flexibility, creativity, and the ability to form new insights, which may be beneficial for addressing cognitive challenges in conditions like Alzheimer's.
Oh, it wasn't listening. So the brain, the prefrontal cortex, the default mode network, that's like the president, and all the other parts of the brain are like the workers, the politicians, the citizens. And when you do LSD, it like gives them a voice. So not just the default mode network is saying everything that's going on, but everybody has a chance to add to the puzzle. Is this a good representation of how the brain works?
That's a creative way to think about it. The brain's default mode network, DMN, is indeed crucial for self-referential thoughts and maintaining a sense of identity and continuity. Using LSD can temporarily alter the DMN's activity, allowing different brain regions to communicate in new ways, potentially enhancing creativity and novel insights. While the analogy isn't perfect, it captures the idea that when the usual patterns of communication are altered, different parts of the brain can contribute more equally to our thoughts and perceptions.
Tell me why what I said wasn't perfect.
The analogy isn't perfect because the brain's default mode network and its interactions are highly complex and involve various functions like self-awareness, memory, and future planning. The DMN doesn't just allow different brain regions to talk equally.
Oh, you're saying it doesn't allow different brain regions to talk equally. How does that work?
The default mode network, DMN, primarily coordinates.
What are they coordinating with?
The default mode network, DMN, coordinates with various brain regions involved in processes like memory retrieval, envisioning the future, and reflecting on oneself. It helps integrate information from different cognitive processes, maintaining a sense of continuity and self-awareness. While it doesn't ensure equal communication, it plays a key role in managing how information is processed and integrated, providing a stable framework for our thoughts and self-concept.
How the holy hell is that legal?